the Ugly Ship took its maiden voyage to a place marked as an ENAT station, which is a location I had on my datapad pretty much right from the beginning of the game. But what I found was much more than an impressive little building. This station opened up huge amounts of gameplay for both single player and multiplayer in the area of game economy. But it's not without its issue. So stick around and let's take a look at Space Engineers economics. This station was a fun find to poke around in and explore what was on the inside. I could also see that it had several landing pads on the outside and demonstrated some of the really cool architecture capable with the game's building blocks. What was also cool about it is that it was fully functional with bedrooms and economic utilities that I want to talk about, because I think it really opens up a whole realm of game possibilities. 3 things of economic interest were a store, a contract kiosk, and an ATM. Now, there's a lot to pack in around these items, so hang on. The contract kiosk had a whole host of different contracts that a person could accept and complete to earn space credits, the Space Engineer's currency, and earn reputation with various factions. There are acquisition contracts, where you deliver materials, components, or consumables. Now, you can mine or assemble the items yourself, steal or loot them, or buy them from another trading outpost. It's up to you how you get them. So you can already see how that one simple contract opens up a variety of strategies. Your ship needs cargo space and a connector, because you will need to connect to the target station to deliver the items. There are bounty contracts, which ask you to hunt down and kill other players who have a low standing with this NPC faction. There's escort contracts, which ask you to meet an NPC ship in space and escort it to given coordinates while protecting it from attacking space pirates. There's hauling contracts, and they're exactly that. You have to provide a financial collateral in exchange for an otherwise worthless package that will appear as an item in your inventory. If you successfully transport it to the given coordinates, you get a reward, and you get your collateral back. With these, only accept them if you have a jump drive, because apparently you need to go pretty far with it. Repair contracts are also there that ask you to visit and repair a player or NPC ship at a given location. And there are search contracts, where you have to go find an item like an NPC's lost cargo drop. They give you a coordinate, but you have to search the immediate area in a given radius to find the item. You don't have to bring it back or anything, it just self-destructs once you get pretty close to it. Search contracts seem like a good entry-level job. Now, not all contracts are available in all situations, and admins do have the ability to toggle some options, including the whole economic aspect on or off. Now, all these contracts reward space credits and give reputation. However, failure lowers your reputation a little, so you don't want to fail too many contracts with a faction you want to gain reputation with. You may have also gathered that these contract, store, and ATM blocks are available for players to build and use, as well as available by the NPCs, but I'll talk about that more in a minute. You might also be wondering why you want to build reputation.
Why, Spock, why?
Well, with NPC stations, it'll give you discounts on items and can open up better or unique items for you to buy, which leads to the store. The store at this ENAT station sold a lot of different kinds of ships, as well as a few other nice items. The fact that this station sold ships means it was a builder faction, and from what I've been able to understand, there are 3 kinds of NPC factions: builders, miners, and traders. The miners specialize in ores, and the traders specialize in components. The array of ships for sale at this station was pretty impressive, many capable of spaceflight, and some even had jump drives. Now, you can also sell components at these same stores that sell the ships, which can be really convenient, and the prices seen are per item, so it can be pretty lucrative. These stores, and understanding that there were different kinds of trading stations around, also got me thinking about a possible different strategy. Rather than me going to space and getting my first bits of uranium for a reactor, maybe I could find a mining specialized station and see if they'd sell uranium on the regular. I could bring them things they need or do mining contracts and get some uranium and platinum in return. I'll probably try that out at some point and could see the method to do that. This ENAT station also sold data pads, and those should have coordinates to other stations, at least according to the lore. I always like to see things for myself, and updates can always change various things that might have been true with a game a month ago. So maybe I can find a mining station. But first things first, right now I don't really have a suitable scout ship. The ATMs do pretty much what you think. You can deposit and withdraw money. And there's also a vending machine that sells little fiddly bits like drinks that can give you a bit of health, things like that. Now, overall, for someone playing on a standalone instance, these economy blocks brought a huge amount of gameplay. There already seems to be a huge potential in the building and physics aspect alone, with the ability to create and do pretty vast amounts of things. But these contracts and store blocks just really blew my mind. It gave me stations to go search and find, a decent variety of missions to accomplish, ships to buy that I could use as is or start to modify, just a lot of options. Even though I wasn't prepared to do a lot of different missions on this experimental flight with the ugly ship, I'll definitely be back to check out more contracts and store items. These blocks also got me thinking about multiplayer and those possibilities of trade and contract work between players. Some aspects seem great, while others I felt would be pretty problematic. I can easily see setting up a faction, being at war with other factions, and posting a bounty contract for people to go out and wreck their enemies. Other contracts set by the faction leader to go repair the guys that just went out and waged war. The faction could also have more infrastructure type people that enjoy the mining and maintain good supplies of uranium and ice. The fighters go out and attack and defend. They use their contract money to buy uranium and ice for the next attack or defense. The repair and welder guys fix up the broken ships and use their payment to purchase ores or components. The miners might use their money from selling ores to purchase really well-designed mining ships from other folks that really just enjoy building and selling those well-designed ships. There's really a lot that can happen with this economy. There is, however, one game aspect that could hamper all of that. Even though a player may specialize or naturally prefer to do one type of activity over another, all players are equally capable of doing all things. So nothing really prevents a fight guy from going out and mining his own uranium or ice. It's just the reality of it. I'm not saying the trading cycles I mentioned aren't possible, but it probably does require the players in a faction to want to operate like that. Perhaps just through some written faction rules or something. But a little nudge is needed either by the faction or something built into the game in the future for that more dynamic economy to really unfold. It would be nice if the game had something built in that would allow a separation of abilities or something. Perhaps like a skill proficiency that very slowly can be acquired, making it advantageous to hire or trade with individuals in some way. Because the possibilities of this economic gameplay is huge. What was also huge was my mobile base. And I'm pretty happy to say that after a bit of experimenting with a paint scheme, I finally came up with something that seemed appropriate for the ship. I'm liking it more and more every day. But what I needed next was a more rigorous flight test with the rover and to work out a few issues I had with the ship's balance. So we're going to take a look at how to use merge blocks to help with that, along with some other issues I might just have to live with. Like and subscribe to see if we survive our first mobile base and carried rover flight test, and I'll be talking to you later.